Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance Channel's Romance Roundup, the #1 romance book recs talk show. I am Liz Donatelli.
And I'm Libby K., author of the sweet romance series Buckeye Falls and the upcoming When Sparks Fly.
Libby and I are sharing the spring 2025 romance books on our TBR lists.
Wow, 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 wow!
Watch Romance Roundup on Reader Seeks Romance Channel and subscribe on YouTube. Listen to Romance Roundup on PodBean and all podcast apps. And follow us on Instagram at Libby K. Author and at Reader Seeks Romance. Hello, Libby, the romance to my roundup.
Oh, Liz, that's so sweet.
I know. Okay, so 2025 spring TBR romances. I feel like we should remind everyone what's the time frame, because we're doing, what is the time frame actually? Because I picked like the calendar of when spring starts. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, and I naturally, the ones that looked interesting to me happened to be in April and May. I think the May one I picked, technically, I think in the publishing world is considered a summer release, but it's around Memorial Day weekend. So I'm telling myself it's right on the cusp.
Okay, that's interesting because you're right. May would probably be considered summer release time in publishing. To me, I'm going by the calendar. I was like, oh, I have until what's it, June?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. June 20, whatever the heck.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just figured I'd mention that. But I don't even think I have anything in June. I don't know. Do I? Probably not.
It'll be a surprise. Stay tuned.
So now we're going to do this again for summer, correct? Is that
yes?
Okay?
Yes. I think last year we did not all the seasons, but the publishing seasons. Even though I think we did it by the calendar.
I think we should do it by the calendar. Okay. So you know what? Let's dig right in. Well, Libby, let the roundup. Geez, I really wish that little Jimmy had a voice, because I'd have him say, "Let the roundup begin."
There'd probably be some creepy kid AI voice, and it would just give people the creeps.
I thought about that.
Let the roundup begin.
Giddy up, Liz. Here we go. The first one I have is coming out, and I'm doing these in date order because I wanted to have some type of organization to the madness. The first one I want to talk about is Passion Project by London Sperry. This is London's debut. The tropes include kind of a twist on friends to lovers. And I saw a description that I love, and it said big city swoons. And so I'm using that because I thought that sounded super fun.
So what does that mean then, do you think?
I think, judging from the description, which I will give you the preface that it is a little bit longer, it sounds like New York City is one of the characters in the book. Like, it sounds like New York is not just a backdrop. It sounds like New York is part of their love story. So,
okay. So interesting that you said a twist on friends to lovers. Is that revealed a little bit more in the book description that you say is very long?
Yes.
Wait, let me guess what the twist is.
Ooh, okay.
They're like secret friends. So they're friends who are like, nobody can know they're friends. So it's like secret friends to lovers. Honestly, I think there's something there. I think that idea has
there is something there. Cool. That kind of reminds me of like old Saved by the Bell episodes where like, don't tell anyone we're friends.
So you mean like, because the popular person's friends with the dork?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think this could work. Secret friends to lovers. This is a thing. It's going to happen. Mark my words. I put it out in the universe.
Date stamp it.
Oh, yeah, I am.
The tagline from the publisher says, "This is a compassionate and hopeful romantic comedy. Passion Project is a reminder that love is waiting to let us in." If your 20s are supposed to be the best years of your life, Bennett Taylor is failing miserably, and with a big emphasis on the miserable. Where's that zest she keeps hearing about? She's a temp worker in New York City with no direction, no future, and no social life. And the painful center of this listlessness is grief over the death of her first love. When Bennett runs into Henry Adams just hours after standing him up for a first date, she makes an alcohol-fueled confession. She's not ready to date. In fact, it's been years since she's felt passion for anything. Not even pottery or organized sports, not a thing. So rather than leaving her to ruminate, Henry jumps at the opportunity for adventure. He asks Bennett if she would like to find her passion for life with him as a friend. And they decide that every Saturday they're going to try something new in New York City, but remember, just as friends. As their quote unquote passion project continues, the pair tackle everything from carpentry to tattooing to rappelling off skyscrapers. And Bennett feels her guarded exterior ebbing away. But as secret surface, Bennett has to decide what she wants and if it's truly time to move on. With emotional resonance and sparkling banter, Passion Project is a fun, flirty, and thoughtful story on finding the spark and igniting your happiness. So that's the
Okay.
description on the back of the book, and I am definitely intrigued. The early reviews I've seen, and again, there's not too many, but on Goodreads and Amazon are all pretty positive so far. I like that they keep mentioning that New York is a character. I'm hoping, judging from the cover and the time of year that this sounds like it takes place, that this will have those springtime in New York vibes.
Okay.
And since I would love to go back to New York in the spring, and I don't think that's in the cards this year, I am honestly thinking this is going to be kind of an armchair travel type of thing, and I'm going to
Okay.
use this book as my fake trip to New York.
Right.
Um,
Do you think that there's mental health representation in this? Because this Bennett sounds
yeah.
depressed, sounds
She
like really.
does. And
Okay.
I'm curious. I can't decide if the reference of her love dying is that she just got dumped and they're being melodramatic, or if the person is dead and she's in the actual
Okay.
grieving process, not just for a breakup.
Oh, I took it
So-
as the person passed away.
That's how I took it, but then
Yeah.
I couldn't tell with some of the other mentions, so I'm like, I didn't want to spoil too much of it for
Interesting.
myself also. One thing that kept coming up in the reviews I was looking at, it sounds like it is a true slow burn, and there's a lot of tension building with these, friendly, quote unquote, interactions. So I'm very intrigued by it, and I like that she's a debut author. I'm eager to kind of find some new people and mix it up a little. Plus, the cover's really charming. It's, people in New York in the spring, and come on. I love that. So
Oh,
I don't know.
nice.
I am cautiously optimistic. And despite the long description, adding Passion Project by London Sperry from Penguin Books to my spring TBR. We were in New York for springtime. Where are you taking us next?
We are going to Sunshine Bay, coastal town in England. We have visited Sunshine Bay before. This is the fictional town in Olivia Springs, the Romance Library.
So is this the same book that had the infamous rocking chair sex scene?
Yes, yes. The Romance Library had the rocking chair sex scene. I have put book 2 in the series, The Love Librarian, on my TBR. I'm hoping that The Love Librarian has some other type of unique sexual experience.
I'm like, okay, we had a rocking chair. Like,
Well, how about a Pelaton? Like some
oh
kind of.
God. Not on my Peloton. The logistics are horrifying.
Oh boy. Okay. So
Anyway, please tell me
I
more.
don't know where I am. Where am I? So, Olivia Springs, The Love Librarian, is a steamy dual POV, small town, childhood friends to lovers romance set in a library with an entertaining cast of romance book lovers, including a virgin female main character and a swoon-worthy hero with a secret identity, ideal for fans of Lucy Score and Megan Quinn. I'm not normally a fan of romances with a virgin heroine.
Ditto.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm such a fan of Olivia's work. I feel like she would be someone who would write a virgin heroine without sounding trite and stereotypical about, oh, she's a virgin
Yeah.
because of X, Y, and Z. And, oh, she just wants to lose her V card, which
Yeah.
I've read in too many romances. I feel like she would do that character justice and not write it in a cringeworthy manner. So the tagline, 2 romance book lovers, 1 epic happily ever after.
Aw.
Let me say that again because I said that kind of low. 2 romance book lovers, 1 epic happily ever after. Working at the Romance Library in the small seaside town of Sunshine Bay is Jane's dream job, which is why she can't risk it by falling for her childhood crush and hot coworker, Jackson. With the library in big trouble, Jane should be focusing on finding ways to save it, not fantasizing about Jackson popping her cherry.
Oh my.
But as a 31-year-old virgin love librarian, Jane feels like a fraud. She doesn't just want to read about passionate trysts in romance novels, she wants to experience them. And with their shared interests and explosive chemistry, Jackson would be the perfect man to help. Except after what happened the last time she dated a colleague, Jane knows that if she crosses the line, the consequences could be catastrophic. And I'm thinking that might have something to do with the fact that why she's still a virgin. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm
thinking
guessing that sounds. Ooh, it sounds like she had a bad experience.
Yeah, I can't wait to read about it.
Yeah. She's fictional. It's okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. When late night book chats lead to Jane and Jackson recreating steamy scenes at the library,
I'm really nervous now because
yeah.
And again, because I am a librarian and I've worked in different types of libraries. To me, as a librarian, they are the unsexiest places in the world.
Public ones are not sexy. That is correct. But whenever I read about a library and sex, I think of my college library because
Yeah.
it was it was really beautiful, but also there were these, it was very private. There were these big, it was almost like cubicles for each little.
Yeah, like study carrels.
Yeah, that's it. What is it called?
Study carrels?
A study carrel? Like CAROL?
CA.
Oh, are you saying a corral? Like a study?
Yeah, but we always called them study carrels.
Wait, how do you spell it?
Okay, CARREL, but we always called them study carols. So you say it like Christmas Carol, but
yes.
Yeah.
I just looked it up and that's exactly what it is. I didn't even know it had a name. I didn't even know what it was called.
I went to graduate school for that. No.
Well, I mean, this is really interesting. So I think of the library with the study carols, and it's like it was dim lighting and there was carpet. So it's like it dulled all of the sounds. So it's almost like you were in a soundproof booth. And
you and I had very different experiences because I was the nerd in the study carol, probably being like, keep it down over there.
Oh, well, I used to go there just to be like calm and peaceful, and I would read and read whatever assignments and everything. And I would get kind of annoyed when people would get a little loud, but I did enjoy the atmosphere. So I think of having sexual trysts in that library, not a public library, because public libraries smell a little.
Well, and public libraries have a lot going on. So public service, please do not do anything in your public library.
Yeah. Don't you? I think they smell a little because people might be doing weird things in the library.
I will not confirm or deny. Anyway, so she's about to lose her virginity in a library. Continue.
When late night book chats lead to Jane and Jackson recreating steamy scenes at the library, their bond deepens and Jane realizes that reading about romance is no longer enough. She'd love her own fairy tale with him. There's a problem, though. Jane's convinced that Jackson's keeping a secret, something big. And if he's not the man she thinks he is, it could shatter her dreams of a perfect, happy ending forever. So we got some secret identity, which typically I don't come across.
I can't think of anything. I mean, unless it's like so nitty gritty, it's like they didn't actually go to graduate school and they're not like certified librarians.
Oh, so you mean secret librarian, fake librarian?
Fake librarian. That's a new trope happening right now.
Fake librarian. Or she finds out it's her distant cousin.
Oh my.
Ew, gross.
Listen, I'm always trying to throw that in here and there because it might work. It could work.
Ooh.
Okay. So I am very much looking forward to reading The Love Librarian by Olivia Spring. And I don't think I mentioned earlier, but it releases on March 27th.
Oh, cool. That's next month.
By the time I post this episode, it might actually be in the same month.
But either way, coming soon.
Okay, Libby, did any of the authors who you love to read, but it also makes you angry how good they are, Did one of them make the list?
Conveniently, yes. Are you sitting down? Because Emily Henry has a new one.
Do tell.
Great Big Beautiful Life, which for some reason, I know it's not the same title as that Ace of Base song, but that song has been in my head since I started preparing for this episode.
Oh, you mean It's a Beautiful Life?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Well, and I don't know why I did. I haven't thought about Ace of Base in, well, a million years. But anyway, the
Well,
point is
that
that
makes
song
me
is now in
very
my head.
sad.
Well, I don't know if it's very sad, but
All
I
right.
have some fun middle school memories with Ace of Base. But the point is, this book comes out April 22nd from Berkeley. It is a standalone, which I think is normal for Emily Henry. The tropes, I saw enemies to lovers, but I'm calling it rivals to lovers. And when I read the back of the book description, I think you will agree with me, Liz, because this is definitely more of a competition than, they're at odds for other reasons. One of the micro tropes is it's a romance about writers. So if you're into that, which I hope so, because it seems to be 50% of the books we're talking about today are book related.
Just a real quick side note, I am
Yeah.
finding more and more main characters who are romance writers.
I
And
actually did not pick another book to talk about on this show because I thought that would be too many to have two of my three be about authors in romances.
yeah. And I appreciate the meta quality of it is that they're romance writers writing about romance writers and a lot of romance writers read these books by romance authors. But I'm wondering if we're going to hit a saturation point with that because it's starting to be a little bit much for me personally because I read through a lot of book descriptions and I'm like, I'm hitting this a lot. And it's like, okay, let's try to be a little creative and not fall back on this all the time. It's like, oh,
Yes.
because it's like easy, right? To write about a profession you're in. So
Yes.
yeah. But anyway.
Yeah,
Wait
no,
a
I
second.
agree. And I
Do you
think,
have a future book where someone's a romance writer?
no, thank God I don't.
Okay. I was waiting for you
But
to
I know
say,
that we're
uh-oh.
doing other books this year for book club that have romance author elements as well. So I know it's just, I think you're right. I don't think for me personally, I don't think I've hit it yet, but I think 2025 might be my saturation point for this microtrope.
Yes.
But anywho, let me read you the descriptions. So the tagline from the publisher is two writers compete for the chance to tell the larger than life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve in this dazzling and sweeping new novel from Emily Henry. I want to get to the point in my career where dazzling and sweeping are used to describe my books. That's just a little side note.
Real quick, when you say sweeping, I immediately think of an epic 500-page book that takes place from continent to continent.
I was just going to say, and someone's standing on a cliff with the wind in their hair.
Yeah, like I think of something that is large in scope. So I am very curious.
Oh, and it is a hardcover only release to start. So,
oh, that is interesting.
It is 440 pages, so it will be longer. So anyway, here we go. Sweeping description. Buckle up. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist still dreaming of her big writing break. Aren't we all? Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize winning human thundercloud, and they're both on the balmy Little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be Margaret Ives, tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. I'm going to pause the description to say that immediately, and I don't necessarily know if this is what it's about, I thought of Gloria Vanderbilt. I don't know why. I just got that kind of vibe. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
That's fair.
But that was kind of one of the things I was thinking of. It's giving me vibes of another book. So I'm going to read it and you tell me, well, maybe I hope you read the book because technically it's not the only read romance, but it reminded me of another one of my absolute favorite books of all time. And I think that's why, even if Emily's name wasn't on it,
who wrote it?
I need a book. Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Oh, is this the Evelyn Hugo chick?
Mm-hmm.
I have not read it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's not identical, but just the vibe. I'm like, holy crap. Okay. So when Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person to tell her story, there are 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. And they're literally numbered. So here we go. One, Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman over. Two, she's ready for this job and the chance to impress her perennially unimpressed family with a quote unquote serious publication. And three, Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests he sees her as competition. That's why I'm thinking it's rivals to lovers and not enemies to lovers.
This is definitely rivals to lovers.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, almost done.
Oh, there's more on the list?
There's more.
Wait, there's more. Is it just three?
Oh, no, it's those 3 points, and now we're going to the rest. Sorry. Yeah, no, those are the only points.
Lord, okay.
Yeah. But the problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story, pieces they can't swap and put together because of an ironclad NDA and the inconvenient yearning pushing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, a tragedy, or a love ballad, depending on who's telling it. That's it.
So you know what? This sounds like not a traditional romance in that it's all about this couple. This sounds like it's probably two romances. This woman's romantic life, probably lost love or something, and then them getting together. And then it sounds like it's going to be a hodgepodge of other stuff. Like there's mystery and intrigue,
and that's why I'm wondering, and I hope not. I mean, she can do what she wants. I'm wondering if this is going to be the beginning of her leaning into more women's fiction, literary fiction, genre fiction. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting is this. And the way that the description is written, I feel like it's going to be just Alice's point of view, where I think in the past she's done both single and dual. But I really, especially with Funny Story, which I still probably think about once a week. Again, that's why I love to just, she drives me crazy. She's so good. But I'm wondering if this is just going to be a single point of view and it's kind of going to be kind of veering in towards, more of a regular genre fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know. I'm wondering, is this the last time I'll be able to talk about her on Romance Roundup?
It very well might be.
But because of the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo vibes, that was why I decided to add it to this particular episode, because it comes out in the spring. I just love her. And that is one of my top 5 books, I would say, in the last 10 years. I've read it 3 times, I think, for different book clubs. And every time I get something different out of it, and I just love it. And I am both hopeful and petrified that they will. I know the rights have been sold, but I don't know who would make that movie. And I just feel like there's no way they would do it justice because it's just so freaking good. That's another author I hate to love sometimes because her books are just so good, is Taylor Jenkins Reid. So if you haven't read any of hers, that one and Daisy Jones and the Six are 2 of my favorite books. She's just unbelievable.
Wow.
Again, it pisses me off. She's so good.
Another one to add to your list.
I'm telling you. So anyway, all of that to say, Great Big Beautiful Life comes out April 22nd from Berkeley from Emily Henry. Enough about Emily Henry. Tell me what you're excited to read.
Was Dirty Dancing one of your favorite movies?
Shut your face. That's my 3rd book. Is this Flirty Dancing? Unreal.
Yes.
That is literally my last one I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to sit here and be so excited.
You deliver it, and I'll just insert my 2 cents.
Okay, and I have to say, I love that you also picked this, because when I found this and I was trying to come up with my 3, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this in because I think Liz will like it. And then knowing that you picked it too, it just validates me and I love it.
Yeah.
So, and the funniest part is it's called Flirty Dancing, but when I first found it, I thought it said Filthy Dancing, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my God. Please, fingers crossed there's a sequel called Filthy Dancing.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, all right, giddy up. So, okay, so my next one that I'm excited for is Flirty Dancing by Jennifer Moffat, which is coming out May 27th from St. Martin's Griffin. This is a standalone, as far as I can tell. And it is a gay romance, and it looks to be a kind of a combination of Grumpy Sunshine and a pseudo celebrity normie is what I'm getting from it. So, and I'm just gonna jump right into that description because it's only 2.5 paragraphs.
Yeah, it's a short one.
Okay, so the tagline is "Sparks fly in this summer romp." Oh, it says summer, and I meant spring. Well, pretend it says spring.
Wait,
Uh,
summer, but it comes out May, but
May
like,
27th, which is I think right around Memorial Day. So
oh,
in
that's
my
right.
mind, that's toeing the line, I guess. We're
Yeah.
gonna say it's spring, so don't hate us.
Technically, that is a spring date. That is a day in
Yes.
spring.
Yes, we are following the calendar. So, sparks fly in this summer romp for fans of Casey McQuiston when dancers at a Catskills resort try to pull off the perfect show and find happiness and a place where they belong on the way. Archer Reed is 27. As soon as I read that, I could just hear you rolling your eyes like, we didn't need this information.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I was a little taken aback by that introductory sentence. I was like, why
Yeah.
do we know he's 27? And I was
And
like,
that's a funny age. It's not like he's like about to turn
yeah.
50 or something. I
But
don't know.
but I love the rest of it, and the book cover is awesome.
Yes,
I
I love it. I
love
love
the
it. Oh,
cover.
okay.
Yeah.
So Archer Reed is 27 and desperate to find his place in life. 5 months ago, he quit his soul destroying accounting job in Ohio and moved to Manhattan with dreams of making it on Broadway. And now he has nothing to show for it but a string of rejections. Even for a ray of sunshine like Archer, hope can only go so far. A musical review at Shady Queens, which in my mind, I keep reading it as Shady Pines from the Golden Girls.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was inspired by Shady Pine.
I hope so. I hope so. It is in my brain anyway. But a musical review at Shady Queens, a queer-friendly resort in the Catskills, is his last chance to break into showbiz. Otherwise, it's back to Ohio, broke and hopeless. And I do hate that Ohio is like the fate worse than death in this book. That's the only negative I have of this description.
Well, as someone who lives in Ohio now but is not from Ohio, I can see why some people would have those negative feelings.
I suppose. But if we wouldn't have both moved to Ohio, Liz, we never would have met and it would have been heartbreaking.
That's true. Our love affair would not have begun.
Yes. Oh.
Well, I guess I
Oh.
got something out of Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, I'm touched. Anyway, so Archer doesn't want to go back to Ohio. So he arrives ready to dance his heart out, only to find he'll be working with his teenage celebrity crush, the Broadway star, Mateo Dixon, which I just love. I just love this. And I love that it's like a trend right now of people meeting their,
Yes.
teenage crushes, like, because that's how
Yeah.
Big Fan was. And I feel like there was other books that we were talking about. And maybe even when we interviewed Leslie a couple weeks ago, she mentioned it. I just feel like this keeps coming up.
It does. And so far, I think that that's really fertile ground. So I think it has longevity as far
Yes,
as, yeah, yeah.
for
I
sure.
would consider this like a micro trope to the celebrity normie trope. Is that
Yes, exactly. Because
specifically,
they're,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
almost like a reunion in the one person's mind because they were already kind of,
yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm just sounding like a stalker. But
Well,
anyway,
yeah, I was going to say, then that means that they were stalking them all this year. It's like, I'll see you again.
yeah, I'm your number one fan. Okay. So, what is Mateo doing working at Shady Queens besides barking orders and glaring at everyone when he's not absolutely smoldering at Archer on the dance floor? As Archer tries to forget his teen crush and get to know the real Mateo, he's caught up in a romance with his hot, temperamental bunkmate, Caleb. Between Mateo's baggage and the dance crew's drama, partying, flirting, breaking up, and getting back together, then breaking up again, it's no surprise when the show starts to fall apart. Archer quickly discovers that when it comes to dance, sometimes you can't leave all your problems backstage. Filled with colorful side characters, about 1 million Broadway references, and enough drama for a high school summer camp, Flirty Dancing is a delightful romantic comedy that shows love, like art, is worth a little sacrifice. So I just think that sounds charming as hell, and I cannot wait to read it. I loved Dirty Dancing. And Liz, if it was on your list, I'm assuming you did as well.
Oh, a huge Dirty Dancing fan. I remember watching it in what year? Oh, it came out in 87, I believe. I rented it. I remember renting it from the video rental store.
Oh, was
And
it a blockbuster?
no, it was a mom and pop place called Morris Park video rental because that was my neighborhood in the Bronx, New York. And I remember sitting with my friends and we would like pause and rewind and because we loved Johnny Castle. It's kind of gruff and like a prickly, and he was kind of like, dangerous. I love Dirty Dancing. I hope that there are some nods to the movie, like something where someone's carrying either a watermelon or an oversized, vegetable or fruit. And it's like, oh, I carried a watermelon, which is a famous line that Jennifer Grey as baby Houseman delivers. And I'm also hoping there's a nobody puts baby in the corner
Yes.
type of
If
reference.
there's not a nobody puts Archer in the corner, I'm going to throw the book away.
Oh my God. Honestly, yeah, I can't wait to read this.
I'm hoping in addition to being, a tribute to Dirty Dancing, it's also going to have some true humor to it. And just the description itself, describing it as something out of high school, I feel like, come on, that's got to be funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's got I'm building it up so much in my head right now that I fear nothing but disappointment because that's what happens. The book cover has the whole Dirty Dancing vibe with how they're standing. I love
everything
it.
about it's perfection. I cannot wait. And unfortunately, we only have to wait, 3-4 months? I don't even know when May is. But May 27th will be here before you know it.
Want to know what I have?
Yes, Liz.
I have a book by a publisher we have mentioned recently on the show, 831 Stories. I picked their upcoming spring release. They seem to be publishing books, I don't know, every month, every other month. Set Piece by Lana Schwartz publishes April 30th by 831 Stories. 831 is the publisher of the romance Big Fan, which I recommended on a previous episode. Here is the gist. A chance encounter leaves a breakout TV star and no-nonsense bartender wanting more, but life gets in the way. They find each other again 5 years later while working on a movie set, but is there room in their lives for this second chance at romance? 1 year ago, no one would have recognized Jack Felgate at a bar, but after his steamy breakout TV role, he's surprised to be swarmed by fans during a night out with friends. When the practical bartender, CJ, intervenes to fend off his admirers, he's grateful and more than a little eager to stick around for an after-hours drink-turned-tryst.
Ooh.
Now that could be an interesting microtrope. Drink-turned-tryst. This is the second book that I've talked about that has mentioned the word tryst.
You're looking forward to the sexy stuff this spring.
Yeah, I guess so. Tryst sounds so illicit and like.
Yeah, it definitely, it's like, because no, there's nothing wrong with a one night stand if that's your shtick, but like tryst just sounds like so fancy.
It sounds like a fancy.
It's a fancy affair.
Fancy affair. Yeah. 5 years later, Jack shows up to set for his starring role in an adaptation of The Great Gatsby, only to find CJ is the film's production designer. But neither of them is the same person they were back then. CJ is a single mom with a 4-year-old, and Jack is a bona fide celebrity managing ceaseless demands on his time and attention. Their chemistry hasn't dimmed since they last saw each other, but is there room in their lives for anything more than one very memorable night together?
2 thoughts. First of all, I love The Great Gatsby, so I'm already sold and want to read it and love it. Is this going to be his baby?
What? Oh, hell no!
I'm doing the math. A 4-year-old and they had a tryst 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Is this his baby?
Do you mean I actually put a secret baby trope book on my list?
And again, people can have multiple trysts. I'm not judging. I'm just saying as soon as she said 4-year-old, I'm like, son of a, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a secret baby, which pisses me off because I really want the Great Gatsby aspect.
Oh my, yeah, actually that appealed to me too, the whole Great Gatsby thing. Oh my God, I've got chills. I've got chills right now. I did not think of that. And I think, so if I read this, which I totally plan to do, I will have read my first secret baby. If what you're saying is correct. And you know what? Why mention the kid is a 4-year-old?
Unless that's part of the twist is maybe he thinks it's going to be his child. And she's like, "You're not the only Tryst in town, buddy." And it knocks him down a peg or two.
Okay, that's an interesting theory. Okay. Oh, now I have to read it just to find out.
Oh,
if he was
I'm even more intrigued. And they're shorter books, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're committing to some 450-page marathon.
Yeah, yeah. And I won't have to do, and if I don't like the secret baby, I don't have to read so many pages about it.
Exactly. Oh, at this point, a 4-year-old, that's just a secret child.
Well, that's yeah, secret child. That's true. So maybe then it's a secret child. It's got to be.
Well, we're going to read this together and we're going to do a Liz and Libby reports back, and then we're going to ruin it for everyone else.
And we're going to ruin it for everyone. We have to. See, I was just so taken by the whole reunion Second Chance, which I prefer if I'm going to read Second Chance.
Yes.
And the whole celebrity angle. I love the whole celebrity normie
I
or
love
celebrity
it.
crush from my teens, meeting them as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, I love all that. So anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to what might possibly be a secret child romance called Set Piece by Lana Schwartz. And that's releasing April 30th.
Okay, so Liz, do you have one more for us?
I do. And it is another gay male romance by one of our favorite authors, A.J. Truman.
Oh, yay. And I did not look up anything about this because I want to learn about it straight from you, Liz.
Oh, that's really sweet. Okay, I'll do my best. I hope the delivery really intrigues you. AJ is launching a new series, The Comebacks, launches on April 28th with book 1, Gross Misconduct. Gross Misconduct is a rivals to lovers, age gap, single dad gay romance with no cheating and an HEA. The Comebacks is a series about a friend group of single dads who were hockey all-stars in high school and looking to recapture the magic in their 40s.
Is this the same hockey players that he referenced in the Single Dad series?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So
And what was the name of the town again?
It was something like Depression. It was something dark, like Macabre Falls. I don't know. It was like
oh, hold on. I gotta look it up. This was
something that was like ironically
Sourwood.
You're good.
Sourwood.
That is right. Although Macabre Falls has potential. Okay.
That'll be the follow-up to Buckeye Falls. Things are just gonna get really sad.
You might have to. Everyone's turned into dark fantasy and dark romance. You might have to do the Macabre Falls series. And instead of a diner, it's some kind of BDSM club.
Can you imagine? I might lose some fans or gain new ones. It depends on how you look at it.
I'm off the deep end today.
Okay, but we're back in Sourwood.
The book description is written in first person. As a high school hockey star, I was on track for greatness until an opponent attacked me on the ice, leaving me half blind. For the past 27 years, I've avoided hockey and its painful memories. But when my old teammates get back together to play in a local recreational league, I realize it could be a chance to rewrite history. The only person standing in my way is Jack Gross. Hockey isn't complete without a rivalry, and ours comes courtesy of the Blades. They're younger, faster, and fronted by Jack, a former professional hockey player who hates my guts. Who hates my guts after a rooftop hookup gone wrong. Interesting. I've read a number of AJ's works, as have you, and rooftops have played prominently in different scenes. Now, I don't think there's ever been a rooftop hookup in any of AJ's books, but like parties happening on the roof but this is a rooftop hookup. So I don't know.
A tryst, if you will.
a tryst. Although a rooftop is not a fancy affair.
That's true.
So I would say it's kind of a rough, not just a tryst. It's like it's rough. Rough.
What are you talking about?
I'm so scared right now. His cockiness and penchant for pranks make me hate him right back. But Jack has a special way of getting under my skin that makes me want to get into his pants. As our teams get closer to a showdown on the ice, Jack begins shedding his armor of confidence. Despite getting to live the life I dreamed of, maybe Jack is as messed up as me. The championship game could redeem the past for us both, but there can only be one winner. Will victory taste as sweet as it costs me Jack? You know, I thought it was going to say, will victory taste as sweet as Jack? That's what
I thought that's exactly
Yeah.
what you were going to say. I'm like, don't make a reaction yet. Let her say it.
Yeah. So we've got hockey, which is a preferred sport of yours.
Yes, please.
I enjoy a good hockey romance. We have age gap. I dig the age gap.
I like it with A.J. Truman. That is just not one of my automatic go-tos. And so I will read it because A.J. wrote it. That's how much I like his writing.
AJ could write a secret baby and I would pre-order it because I enjoy AJ that much. I hope that secret baby doesn't pop up in any of his books just because I don't know if I'm ready to really read one.
Yeah, except for the one you're probably going to be reading.
Except for Set Piece by Lana Schwartz, which I think might actually turn into one.
I cannot wait for that. I mean, I can't wait for all of these, but I am like on the edge of my seat.
So yes, I'm super excited to read Gross Misconduct, book 1 in the Comebacks by A.J. Truman, which releases on April 28th.
And I'm excited to read it as well.
And that's our roundup. Watch Romance Roundup on Reader Seeks Romance channel and subscribe on YouTube. Listen to Romance Roundup on PodBean and all podcast apps. Thanks for joining us, romance readers.
Happy reading, everyone.